Family, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you being here this morning, and we get right to it with the breaking news regarding James Smith. I'll let everybody get checked in. I appreciate you guys being here for this breaking update, and we're usually live, every single day at 10 a.m. It just happens to be that, news happens right before we got on the show, and this news is regarding James Smith. I find it really interesting, and it must be, there must be so much fake news out there, because every single time that I post anything, like on our Facebook page or I come here, all I get is fake news. And I don't know if there's that much fake news that is out there. I have a zero fake news policy. That I don't post fake news. But I see it more and more, and I don't know if it's because people are so unsettled by the news that is coming in, or it's kind of like they don't think that this is real. But this is 100%. I would not bring this to you if this is not true. But James Smith has entered the transfer portal. Okay, this isn't fake. Okay, it's on every single news site. It'll be on ESPN, and I kind of have already started thinking too, because I post the news so fast. I think that sometimes people think I'm just making stuff up, but yeah, I continue to see it. But this is real, all right. And I think this is a big loss. And I do see a lot of the players leaving. Sometimes in kind of the frustration mode, you're like, well, that guy, because every guy is leaving is not good, right? But if he comes back, he's great. I just think that people are hurt. So I totally get it, and kind of the wave of emotions of people as they go through kind of the transfer portal, because it's a lot. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me exactly of when Coach Saban retired. It's the exact same emotions that people are trying to process, right? It's the loss of Indiana was so great and impacted people so much, followed by the loss of the transfer portal, losing 17 guys. It doesn't matter if it would be 10 guys, 17 guys, as I think I have it today. That's a lot of guys. And I think for the majority, the guys that spilled out of the transfer portal so far, it was, whatever. You can kind of weather the storm. It's kind of like the transfer portal, how, things go. But I think recently, the later guys to leave, specifically on the defensive side, it hurts, right? You say what you want, losing Noah Carter, that's a loss. That was kind of one that you're like, okay, oof, all right, that hurt. And then losing Keon Keeley, you're like, whoa, what's going on here? Sit up straight. And then you lose Quay Russo, and you're like, yo, man, okay, I get it. He's negotiating for more money. They're all negotiating, right? And then it gives you more hope because Rico Scott comes back, right? He negotiated. He clearly got paid. And then you kind of go into the evening. You wake up, a little bit more optimistic because you got Hollywood Smothers in. And then you're getting ready for the show. And then James Smith hits the transfer portal. And everyone's like, fake news. This is real. This is happening, okay? And these players have not signed anywhere else. Is it part of the negotiation tactics? Maybe. But we'll find out. And if these players bounce out, we'll see where it goes from here. You got guys, that are deep. That's something about, Alabama's roster. It's always been deep. The 2 deep, the 3 deep has always been really good. And you want to continue to have those guys ready to go. I think that's harder to have in this day and age because of the transfer portal, the alluring factor that you can just go get paid. And I think it works as a double-edged sword. And also, I think, stay with me here, okay? Do you agree with me? I think that coming to Bama and kind of the brand that Bama has actually hurts Bama more in the transfer portal than any other program. Stay with me here. Because once you come to Bama and you get a Bama stamp, 1 year, 2 year, people are like, yo, Bama recruited him. We can get him. This is a Bama guy, right? He was at Bama for like a year or two. Now we can get him, right? You see what I'm saying? I think it hurt. I think a lot of the players too understand that, and they're willing to go to Bama for 1 year, 2 years, just to go and get a Bama, go to Bama and then get a Bama bump, and then parlay that and do something where they can get paid a lot more because now schools have much more money to work with, right? You see what I'm saying? So go to Bama. You got to offer, commit there, right? They'll pay you. You'll be good. Work your way up, and then you can kind of leapfrog around. I think that totally happens. With James Smith, and as you know, I put prospects into 3 different buckets. I put him into poached, right? Was the player poached? Does the player want more playing time, or was it kind of trimming the fat? I think if you're looking at a player like James Smith, probably poached. I think him and Quay Rusaw seem to be a package deal, all right? I think that those 2 players want to be together, and I think that they will be together. Where do you guys think that James Smith ends up? Where do you think that Quay ends up? They're going to go together 100%. I mean, I would imagine that they might go to Georgia, right? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, this is not fake news. You woke up to it this morning. All right, so James Smith has decided to hit the transfer portal. What would you say on an impact on a scale of 1 to 10? And usually all the players that leave are not good, right? So is a returning starter, was he not good? Let me know inside the comment box. I think the thing is at the bottom, as you can see, you lose you lose Tim Keenan, right? You lose LT Overton. You lose James Smith. So you're like, okay. You look at Keon Keeley leaving as well, like that's another guy that you lost. All right. So looking at the transfer board overall, and here it is. The new guys I put on the right, these are kind of like relatively new guys within the last 16 hours. I mean, it is portal combat, as Jarvis likes to say. I think we're up to 17 right now. I got a graphic kind of little decal because we have Jalen Mbakwe. He's committed to Georgia Tech, right? So he has signed with Georgia Tech. But everybody else, I think, is still out there. Let me know if you've seen somebody that has signed somewhere else, but I think everybody out right now is kind of out in the portal world. And the new guys on the bottom right, Quay Rusaw, David Bird, and James Smith. Okay. So do you think that there'll be any players that come back that get out of the portal? Do you think that somehow, we're back in 24 hours or 12 hours or 5 hours talking about James Smith and Quay Rusaw coming back? I mean, Rico Scott, he was in there for, 24 hours, maybe less, 12 hours. Right? And as North Alabama Storm Chase is kind of saying inside the comment box, with Alabama getting Hollywood Smothers, does that mean a running back is going to hit the transfer portal? I would probably say yeah. Hollywood Smothers is coming over here to be the starting running back, okay? And, I see a lot of people calling for Jeremy Pruitt. What would Jeremy Pruitt – just help me. Look, I'm not against it. As the defensive coordinator or the head football coach, what would he do? How would he transform things instantly? Because I see a lot of people calling for Jeremy Pruitt. He's the answer. Is that kind of because you can't get Saban, get Jeremy Pruitt? Do you think that you imagine Jeremy Pruitt and Kalen DeBoer together? Talk about completely worlds apart, right? But let me know inside the comment box what you think would Jeremy Pruitt, how he would transform Alabama back to kind of greatness, right? Because I think Alabama fans want more than anything Jeremy Pruitt, because they know they can't get Saban back. So you want Jeremy Pruitt, you want Scott Cochran, right? Those are the 2 guys. And then then you want Bo Davis. Those are the 3 guys that can bring Alabama back to greatness, right? Those are the guys that can develop players and, help Alabama win more games, right? And Robert's saying Pruitt is better than Freddie Roach, okay? So he would coach the defensive line, even though he's a linebackers coach, or you're just saying that he could coach that area. I get you. You know, Roach has been here for a long time. He's a head coach here. He's the after DeBoer, Freddie Roach is like the assistant head coach, big time title. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but Freddie Roach is a head coach, and so is Robert Gillespie. So, yeah, so here we are this morning. Here's a look at the transfer portal look for Alabama Crimson Tide as of January 6th. And, the news is so fluid. Truth be told, I cut the podcast late in the evening so it can be fresh for you by the time you wake up. And last night, everything was buttoned up. I had to redo the podcast because Hollywood Smothers committed in the evening time. So, news is always fluid. So I appreciate you guys' grace with me as I'm live at 10. And then all the news that happens from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m., it is wild. And then the news that happens from 10 a.m. all the way to, the evening time is crazy. All right, so here's where we stand right here, and we add James Smith to the board, okay? Let's do some AM shout-outs. Let's see who's here inside the party. We got, I think, a good crew here. I'll shout as many names out as I can. We have Max Tooney, man. What's up? I appreciate you being here. We have Ryan Harris. Thank you very much for being here as well. North Alabama Storm Chase. Anna out in Atlanta. Ryan Harris Music. We have Chris G01. We have Max Tooney. We have Case. What's up, Case? We have Miss Crystal. We have Coach Smith. We have Carson. What's up, bro? Good to see you. We have Jarvis. We have Jay. We have Big 16. We have Marcelo. What's up, man? We have Patriotic. Good to see you as well. Justin RTR. We got Riley's up in the house as well. We got Chance. We got Josh. We got Cali Bama. Good crew. We got FML. What's up, bro? Good to see you as well. We got Jeffrey. We got Soli. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much. Darren. We got Darren. Oh, yeah. Another name people want is Sam Pittman. Yo, Sam, that I like all those names, to be honest, right? I don't know if any of them are realistic, but I like them all. I'm not against them at all. I also like the Sam Pittman name. I forgot about that because Alabama fans want Sam Pittman. That one, Sam Pittman never came here, right? But but I know Coach Saban wanted him here, right? Yo, Broderick, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Taylor, good to see you. Cody, what's up, bro? Good to have you on the show. Paul, what's up, bro? Thank you so much. Paul is saying thoughts on Rico pulling his name out of the portal. Yeah, I think that's big. And I'm kind of curious to see if any of these other guys pull their name out of the portal as well, right? I mean, it's Portal Combat. And like I always say, if you want to negotiate really good, leave. Don't call them back. Don't answer the phone. Nobody wants you more when they can't have you, right? Seriously. Look, this is nasty work, but it's true in any form, and it shouldn't be like this. But, if you want kind of the control of things, break things off. And I don't know why psychologically it works. It's kind of unfair play, but that's how the world is, okay? Especially in business. Especially when they need you. Like Rico Scott, you look at the wide receivers, he's like, I'm out of here. You get your own wide. You pay for Cam Coleman, I'm gone. Alabama was like, wait. Okay, what can we do to make this work? I want money, and I think this is honestly happening, and I know this is crazy, but I also think that this is happening. I think that players are demanding a certain amount of playing time. I think players are demanding a certain amount of balls being thrown to them. I'm dead serious. This is crazy. So I want to say thank you before we continue our show. Thank you to our live show sponsors. All right, these are the people who support our program right here on Bama Football on YouTube. If you want to become a live show sponsor, hit the join button. I sincerely appreciate you guys. I need you guys' help more than ever as we get kind of into these next few months, okay? So thank you so much. Easy to sign up, easy to cancel. You can do this or you can do the Wake Up Bama sponsorship, and I really appreciate you guys. And also Sleeper is a sponsor of the program. I'll give them a shout out later as we get to taking calls. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's wild just covering the news, and I'm a little disappointed in kind of the James Smith stuff. But on the bright side, okay, we got Hollywood Smothers up in the house last night. So, hey, Hollywood Smothers. And I know we got a couple super chats, so thank you so much. That really goes a long way. New super chat just in here. I think I missed one or two. I'll scroll up and see if I can grab them again. Sam says this: Alabama need to open up the checkbooks. We need our defense. I'm not mad about that, man. Last night you got the offense, right, with Hollywood Smothers coming in. Sam, what'd you think, man, of Hollywood Smothers? You guys happy on a scale of 1 to 10 with Hollywood Smothers coming in? I mean, I think it just feels good to finally get Alabama's first portal addition in, right? And Jarvis says 22.5 million people watching us get smoked by Indiana. Yeah, and because you didn't run the ball, right? Because you couldn't run the ball, right? Clearly, Hollywood Smothers, as Ryan Harris says inside the comment box, this guy has elite speed, okay? He's playing a different competition against the ACC, but I don't think you can take away from the fact that this guy has it. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs played in the ACC, and then he came over here and absolutely feasted, right? It's still surprising to me that he didn't run for 1,000 yards. He was like at 926, right? 5'11", 195 pounds. He had 4 100-yard games, ran for 164 yards against Wake Forest. Elite speed, vision, cutting ability, reliable hands. Will be a junior this coming year. I think it's a huge deal that you got Hollywood Smothers in it. And to me, I am surprised. I am, shocked that Alabama was able to even get a running back as their first portal addition. Because if I'm a running back, and I'm just going to rattle these stats out. I was trying to create a graphic, and then we had James Smith at the portal, so I couldn't get the graphic up in time. But I was thinking about this, and I was like, man, under Ryan Grub, and we go back and forth because you guys think that Ryan Grub wants to run the football, all right? I get it. There's a lot of people that still believe. I just think the data speaks differently, and kind of looking at the past couple of years with Ryan Grub. I mean, does anybody know where Alabama finished this year in running the ball? 123 out of 134. Okay, 123 out of 134. At Seattle when Grub was there, 28 out of 32. Washington, yeah, the year that they had a 1,200-yard rusher, 106 out of 134. Okay. Those numbers are concerning to me, and that's why I think it's amazing that they were able to sell Hollywood to come over here. I mean, show me the offensive linemen. I know you're recruiting some offensive linemen, but until they're here, they must have paid Hollywood a grip. And you're like, wait, I want A.K. Deere to be the starting running back. A.K. Deere is not going to be the starting running back. Neither is Xavier Crowell, okay? Neither is Daniel Hill, and neither is Kevin Riley. This is your starting running back, okay? This is him. And what does it mean for the other running backs in the room? Well, I'll tell you this. This is, I know, harsh reality, but welcome to where we're at. This guy got 160 carries, okay? Do you think he's coming over here for 50 carries? Do you think he's coming over here for 70? No. He's coming over here to be the absolute dog, the star of the show. His name is Hollywood. Okay, you know what's crazy? I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. This is a true story on Hollywood. Does anybody remember when Hollywood, I just saw this on social media. You can look this up. I have a photo of it. Does anybody know where Hollywood originally signed with? Does anybody know? Okay. At his signing ceremony, okay, Hollywood, this was years ago, okay? Hollywood was at the table. Look this up, okay? He had all the hats on the table. You know how they do. He picked up the Alabama hat, and he got the Alabama hat, and he launched it. and he put on the Oklahoma hat, and he committed to Oklahoma. And then he transferred from Oklahoma to NC State, and then now he's coming to Bama. So the hat that he threw across the room, now he's back. The portal, man. Yo, it's crazy. But, yeah, he threw that Alabama hat on the floor, put on the Oklahoma hat, decommitted from Oklahoma or transferred to NC State where he did work, and now he's coming back. Did you guys see that? It's crazy. He gets the hat, and he just completely launches it. And now he's our guy. Yo, man. Welcome, Hollywood. We forgive you, dog. You just threw the hat one time. It's all good. This is wild. So let me ask you a question inside the comment box, all right? When you're looking at our running backs, you think A.K. Deer starts? Who do you think starts? Hollywood Smothers or A.K. Deer? Post inside the comment box. Who do you think starts, or who do you think plays more, Hollywood or A.K. Deer? Because I know you guys have been calling for A.K. Deer. I have too. A.K. Deer didn't even play more than Kevin Riley. I'm just saying, like, this running back room, we added a new name to the mix. I don't know. I think Smothers is probably your guy, right? Oh, man. So I think Smothers is the guy. And look, you guys are 100% right, because I don't even know if it matters what running back it is, because if we don't have an offensive line to facilitate a push, if we still have the same offensive line coach, those are frustrating, right? Those are frustrating points for you. Am I right? Lag Gaming in with the super chat, bro. What's up, man? He says, I hope Smothers can break 8 tackles to get 3 yards. What's up, Lag Gaming? I appreciate the super, man. And Jarvis, man, what's up? He said, forget Stranger Things. College football is now the upside down. Forget everything you thought you knew. 100%, man. It is crazy. Yeah. Josh Miller says, Daniel Hill is the weakest 244. Look, I think clearly they want a guy that has elite speed. And for those of you asking about Raleek Brown, Alabama's not going to get both of those guys clearly. As Max Tooney points out, Raleek is going to Texas, and Alabama got Hollywood Smothers. So I don't know. Does Alabama keep all 6 of its running backs that they have now? I would say no. But I guess we'll have to see. All right. Do you guys think, okay, before I move on from my running back graphic, do y'all think that a running back leaves from now to the 16th? I mean, I'm not mad at getting Hollywood, to be honest. That I watched his tape enough, and I was like, oof, man. Because that's what I felt like when I was watching Indiana. It just felt like their running backs were just fast and big, man. Like old Alabama running backs. To be honest, I'd like to see Hollywood a little bit heavier, but, man, I just need that speed, right? Inspirational strategist. What's up? He's a Gibbs clone. Yo, comparing anyone to Gibbs is crazy, right? But I don't know. He's fast, bro. Watch his tape. You might think the same thing. The crazy thing is Gibbs. Who knows how high his ceiling is? I still think he's the best running back in the NFL. Either him or, I don't know. I don't know who's better, him or Bijan Robinson. Maybe Bijan. Bijan is crazy. You better draft. If you ever have an opportunity to draft in fantasy football, here's your sleeper advice. If you ever have an opportunity to draft Bijan Robinson, you better do it. Don't think twice. That dude will get you like 40 points a game. It is crazy. All right, so overall, our running back room is completely stacked. I mean, so stacked. So I have a question for you, okay? All right, so you make the call on the running back room, okay? We will update that graphic up at the top. You make the call on the running back room. All right, A, B, or C, or D, okay? You feel it's just completely loaded and this is what we got going forward? Do you think someone will transfer? Do you think you have to build the offensive line? It doesn't matter who it is. Or do you think you have to commit to the running game in order for all this to work? Oh, man. I really like the fact that you got Hollywood Smothers. I do feel that the coaches must have. I think it really tells us something, right? The coaches had to sit down with Hollywood and be like, "Yo, Hollywood, we get it, bro. We didn't run the football. We didn't commit to. We see everything. We want to run the football. We do. Okay, we know that's part of it, and we're going to build an offensive line around you. We're bringing back Michael Carroll, but everybody else is going to be a complete revamp, a complete rehaul, right? We told Wilcom Formby that it's not going to work out. So I think it's kind of like C and D. And look, if a guy transfers, it'll be unfortunate because I do like all those running backs. But I think C and D have to be blended together. It doesn't. I don't know. A lot of people have said that there could be coaching changes coming after the transfer portal. Whatever it is, I don't care who the offensive line coach is. We need to address that area, have better offensive linemen, and really have to commit to the running game. And I'm not saying become a wishbone type team. I'm saying, look, a 60, even as like 65% passing, 35%, like whatever, 60-40, however you need to blend it. But you have to run the ball. You have to. In the NFL, if you don't run the ball, like you're going nowhere. I think same thing at this level. And the frustrating thing is, I do feel that you have running backs to do it now, especially with the addition of Hollywood. So hopefully we're able to take a big step forward and run the ball better this year. I don't know. I mean, your guess is as good as mine right now on the offensive line because of all the guys that have left. All right. Okay. We are waiting on Ty Simpson. Okay. We have an announcement from Parker Brailsford, Jeremy Bernard, who else? A couple other guys that have announced that they're going to the NFL. I guess Kaden Proctor too. But wouldn't it be what if Kaden Proctor is like, yo, I'm coming back? They spent the money on retention and Kaden Proctor is coming back. I'd be happy because that would mean you got Kaden Proctor and Michael Carroll. But I don't think there's any way. I'm surprised. Aren't you surprised that we haven't heard from Kaden Proctor yet? Don't tell me you'd be upset if Kaden Proctor was coming back. Right? I don't think he is. I would bet the house that he's going to the NFL, but if he came back, I think that would be it. That would be crazy. All right. Okay, so so this is crazy. I've clearly gave I don't even give predictions. But it doesn't make sense for Ty Simpson to come back. It doesn't make sense. Can you imagine Ty Simpson going into the coach's room? Hey, Coach Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grub, can I talk to you guys? Yeah, Ty, what's up, man? I've thought about this and I'm coming back. They'd be like, I don't know, man. Look, we need to like for us to keep our jobs, we have to take a step forward, and we did a lot together. But look, you got to end of the first round, second round draft grade, go that way. So I think what's really going to happen is Ty goes into the NFL. He's the third quarterback off the board. Like hearing him even transfer doesn't make sense to me, but it's out there, and you're like, what? And I know, like Chris Lowe, who knows everything about everything, right? This is what he's saying, right? Chris Lowe is saying that Simpson transfers to Tennessee if he does not get a first-round grade. Isn't that crazy? I just don't think – I don't buy – I cannot see this happening. I would be, like, completely shocked. Everybody says they're Roll Tide through and through, right? But I really believe that Ty is. I think Ty is like a genuine dude who is like Roll Tide, until the end of time. I can't see Ty going to Tennessee. Oh, God, that would be terrible. I don't know. What do you think? All right. So vote inside the comment box right here. A, NFL, B, transfer, C, return, or D, you have no idea. I'm going to say a hard A. Let's see. Owen says, Kyle, pull up ESPN draft predictions. They have Ty as number 1 over Fernando Mendoza. Oh shoot, I don't know if I'm believing that, but yeah, I'll check it out. You know what? Fernando was better than I thought, and he didn't even have to do that much work. But you know what? The thing is about the whole return is like guys like super in the know. I think like even like Chris Stewart, right? I mean, that guy works for the University of Alabama. I think that he even said a return is possible, right? Hey, V Lone, what's up, man? What do I think about Brown? Who are you talking about? Raleek Brown? Raleek Brown. It looks like he's going to Texas. He's not visiting anymore, by the way. He's the other running back from Arizona State, right? Yeah. See, Owens is right too. Like I think AJ McCarron thinks that he's coming back too. Man, and the thing is, we all know this. What happens? You guys answer it. If Ty Simpson comes back, what happens? Yeah, you have a returning quarterback who won 11 games, who took Alabama all the way to the Rose Bowl, right? But what happens to the quarterback room? You think Austin stays? You think Keelan stays? I think this happens. If Ty comes back, I think you might lose both quarterbacks. And then you got Ty and you got Jet Thamala and Taden Kahawa going into the season and John Gazanaga. So I think what'll happen, Jarvis, this is right, bro. This is exactly it. Too much is going on, right? I can't. The keeping track of all this is like the best analogy because I was talking to somebody about like covering like the transfer portal. The best analogy that I can come up with is like going down like an alley and they let like 500 cats loose, right? Or 5,000 cats loose. And all these cats are just running down the alley and you're trying to track what all of these cats are going to do. And on the side of the alley are like people with like cat toys and like, you know, food and stuff like, and all these cats are just going everywhere and you're trying to like keep track of them. It's absolutely insane. So Justin has verified. Kyle, so ESPN has Ty Simpson going number 1 in the NFL draft. Okay, well look, there's your data points, bro. then make the announcement. Yeah, no way that Ty comes back. I can't even believe that they came out with this, right? So we're waiting. I'll probably have to go live when this comes out because this is like national news. It'll probably come out at like the oddest time. It'll be like 9 p.m. tonight. I don't know, right? Don't you think, Edward? The analogy with the cats, it's absolutely bananas, bro. So we'll see. I think he's going to the NFL, and I hate looking at him in that orange. That's the real only team that I just, out of all the places that I went, right, when I used to go to the games and stuff like that, it was a real experience going to Tennessee, like going up to Knoxville. I'm telling you, it was uncomfortable. Like that orange, I have to even change the graphic. I'm sorry. Because the orange, like, it does something to my eyes. I don't know what it is. It's the weirdest thing. Does it do something to your eyes? It really does. And then they play, on top of that, they played the Rocky Top song. I don't know how many times. That was the only song that played. And they played it, I'm not serious, like 400 times during the game. And they were losing. That was the last time I was there. Do you remember when Alabama beat them like 66-3 or something like that? Yeah. It was the weirdest thing, and they kept on playing that song again and again. I don't know. Kaysen with the super chat. It may be unpopular, but I think Ty Simpson has the best potential for the NFL compared to the last 5 quarterbacks sent to the NFL by Bama. Milroe, Bryce, Mac Jones, Tua all had elite offensive linemen. Ty didn't. Interesting. You know, you're not the only person to say this, Case. I was actually talking with one of my buddies during a workout, and he was arguing. He said, this is, I personally, Case, I love you. I don't agree with this. But I do, one of my buddies said the same thing, but he took it a step further. He said Well, I get maybe you're saying the same thing. He thinks that Ty Simpson would be the best quarterback out of those guys you mentioned. I don't know. I think he'll go to the NFL, and I think he'll be productive. But man, like Bryce, right? He's starting to come along. And then I think with like Mac Jones just needs to get traded to a different team, right? I have no idea what Jalen Milroe is going to do. In fact, I have him on my taxi squad on fantasy football. I don't know who knows? Nobody knows about Milroe. Taylor is coming back and says ESPN has Mendoza going number 1. So I don't know. I'll check it out after the show. It doesn't matter. Ty's going. The last I saw, ESPN had him number 3. 1, 2, 3. He's going to the NFL. All right. So when that news breaks, we'll cover it. Okay. This one also hurts. All right. Because, I mean, look. One of the greatest things this year was watching Alabama's depth on defense. Right? Tim Keenan went out early in the season, right? You had guys step up in his place. The depth was so good. And then when Quay Rusau went down, you had Yhonzae Pierre come in and turn into one of the best pass rushers, right, in the SEC during that point in time. The guy was absolutely on a heater. Damani Jackson, right? When he was struggling, Dejon Lee came in. My point is the 2 deep on Alabama's defense is how it should be at Alabama forever. Now, with all these guys kind of bouncing out and some of these guys leaving on defense, it does make me uncomfortable because you start to kind of look, Alabama starters are always going to be fine. Alabama's going to be good. You know, the first 11 out on the field are going to be fantastic. But where Alabama is better than teams usually is kind of the 2 deep, the 3 deep, right? I mean, think about the wolf position. You had Quay. I mean, look at this, all right? This is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to have Quay. He goes down, boom, no problem, all right? You got Yhonzae Pierre. Boom, comes in. He goes down, boom, Noah Carter. Boom, Justin Hill. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be, always. And with these guys now leaving, I think it does impact the depth. Now, yeah, can Alabama sustain with Quay leaving? Of course they can. If Yhonzae stays, he's a redshirt junior. He could make a decision to go to the NFL with the season that he had. But let's say he comes back. Cool. We're straight. Behind him, you got Justin Hill. We're fine. But, the guys behind him are young. You might have to get, a lower tier player out of the transfer portal. I don't know. That's why I think it's impactful. I mean, having these 2 guys return on defense in 2026, I think was fantastic. I don't know where you put Quay. You figure it out. You don't want to play inside. Okay, well, let's figure out some packages to where we can figure out how to get these guys both on the field or different rotations, situational football. But losing Quay and losing Noah Carter, I'm not happy about it. This guy is great, right? We're going to miss him. So, Justin Hill, Yhonzae, I guess we haven't even talked about this. Do you think that Yhonzae Pierre comes back? Or do you think he goes to the NFL? I guess I'm thinking he comes back, right? Man, if he leaves, woo, man. What you guys think about Yhonzae? Does he leave or does he come back? I guess I'm saying come back for right now. Yeah, big RJ's like he better, or Kyle's like he better. Okay, all right. So we feel like he's coming back, right? He leaves. Woof. Look. We love Justin Hill more than a lot of guys. He's a dog, but he can't be the only guy there. Who are you gonna have behind him? Justin Hill is he's a menace. So we'll track it. I don't know, but I don't like losing Quay Rusau. All right. And who knows, maybe see, and that's what I'm thinking. See what Tyrone is thinking right here. This is the scary thing. You don't want your transfers to go to Georgia. You don't want your transfers to go to LSU. You don't want your transfers to go to Tennessee. You want your transfers, like the perfect landing spot for like a Jalen Mbakwe was Georgia Tech. Perfect, okay? He might develop into a great two-way player and be whatever. Great. At Georgia Tech, we'll never see them. You know, maybe, who knows, down the road, whatever, they're like a 12 seed. You do not want Quay Rusa and James Smith, two starters, to go to Georgia. No, you don't want that to happen, right? Okay, back to the positive news. Yo, this is like an EKG. Back to the positive news. Rico Scott staying. Hey, can we get an applause inside the comment box? Thumbs up for Rico Scott staying. I'm happy about this. I am. There's always a couple guys that hit the portal and then come back. Rico Scott was one of them. A couple years ago was Jalen Mbakwe, or last year or whatever. Rico Scott is staying. He left at one point. He was gone for I don't know how long he was gone for. And now he's back. I've always been a fan of Rico Scott. And I'm still surprised that we didn't get more touches for him. I think that Rico Scott, you know, the thing that made my ears perk up and I was like, oh, man, Rico Scott's going to be a dog, is the fact that he ran, 23 miles an hour? I still can't get over that stat. He's one of the fastest players on the team. He never saw the ball. So your receivers right now, as it looks, right, we're still kind of waiting on an update on Isaiah Horton. What y'all think? You think Isaiah Horton comes back? Oh, man. Let's see. How many receivers we got right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 wide receivers. And I mean, I like all of them, right? I mean, Derek Meadows, as he continues, he's going to be, I mean, I like his size. He got speed. We love Lazier Brooks, Sedarian Morgan, monster. Ryan Williams, Isaiah Horton, Rico Scott, right? I guess I don't know about Horton. I agree, Max. I think we need him back. Daniel doesn't like Rico Scott. Well, I don't know. Look, the thing with Rico Scott is we got to get him some touches. We got to get him involved to see what he can do, right? Like, let's give this guy some opportunities on third down. Let's send him deep. Let's put him in some situations to see what he can do. I don't think we have enough data points on him yet. Right? Chris in New Jersey's like, forget everything. Just Keelan Russell is all that matters. So there's the wide receiver room after Rico Scott announces that he is staying. Love it. All right. Okay, let's see. Transfer targets for the Tide. Kind of recap what we know already, right? Cam Coleman, we'll talk about him more in just a second. Caleb Woodson was just in town in Tuscaloosa, right? Inside linebacker, I think he'd probably be, very important to get Caleb Woodson. Devin Tompkins, also in town. I think he gets in town tonight. Defensive lineman out of USC, especially with James Smith just leaving. Now you can kind of press on a little bit. And then recently, Hollywood Smothers committed, and that was Monday night. Okay. So there's kind of 4 at this point in time. And these were kind of the first guys that kind of jumped on the board. You might have a high chance of landing these 2 guys. This screen might read committed, and I think the sweepstakes for Cam Coleman. Look at the team. Look, if this doesn't tell you that Bama, they have money, okay? Look at who Alabama is battling against for this. Texas. Look, we have oil here in Bama. We have oil money, okay? You have to have oil money to enter this sweepstakes. That's kind of the prerequisite. Isn't that crazy? Texas, A&M, and Tech, and Bama, right? Bama has bread for sure. Yes, and Bama Jeff. Look, imagine Bama Jeff just waking up this morning. Just waking up in the morning. Gotta thank God. Oh, wait, James Smith left. That's kind of odd. Oh, man, yeah, that's it, man. Shoot. James Smith is out, bro. Just waking up. Anybody know what that's from? So, yeah, Bama has money. Will they get Cam Coleman? I don't know. But if they're battling with Texas A&M, if they're even getting a visit, that tells you that they have money on the table, because Cam just isn't entertaining people who are going to give him $1 million. I mean, Bama has money, I promise you. The biggest misconception in football is that Bama's broke. No, they're not. So I don't know if it works out, but Bama's still in the sweepstakes, at least. All right. So we'll keep you posted, and if we get an official update in terms of that Cam Coleman cancels his visit here, I'll let you guys know on the next show. All right. Other transfer portal targets. This looks better. I like this graphic. Okay, you like this graphic? If you like the graphics, I spend countless hours, making sure that these graphics are the best that they could possibly be for you. I put a lot into it, so I appreciate you guys, because I want you guys to have a great show. All right. And this graphic goes hard because it's all offensive linemen. Jimothy. Yo, I want a lineman named Jimothy. All right. 6'6", 320. He was recently here. Tackle out of Mississippi State. Kaden Strayhorn. Looks like he's an interior offensive lineman. I don't know if he's guard or center. But was former teammates with Michael Carroll. He's been offered. Brock Riker, I haven't heard anything regarding him coming over to Bama, but he's a center. And then the new name is DJ Chester. Capstone Farm says AI can, so AI can generate clearly photos, right? But I think like it messes up a lot of the stuff, like completely. So, it's hopefully it gets better, but for now I'm still like doing the home cooking hand by hand with the graphics. And I know it's painstaking. Hopefully get to a better place, but it's just it's not there for me yet. But DJ Chester, 6'6". Have you guys seen DJ Chester? You should check this out. This is probably, I like Jimothy and DJ, all right? So check this out. DJ Chester, 6'6", 315 pounds. So he played center, but he played left tackle as well. I like a versatile left tackle and center. That's kind of interesting. Usually you see like center and guard. You don't really see a center and a left tackle. This would be probably one of our biggest centers that we've had in quite some time, right? And look, do we want more athletics offensive linemen? Do we want bigger? I don't know. But we used to have massive centers. Like Bradley Bozeman was huge. So was Ross Piercebaker, and so was Landon Dickerson. And I think all those guys, were sufficient. I never really heard a lot of criticism about the center underneath those guys. I'm trying to think, who was the center before? So when I got here, because we had the center I think it was Bradley Bozeman was here for like 3 years. And then I think it was Ross Piercebaker. And then I think it was Landon Dickerson for like 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. And then it was Seth McLaughlin, which was obviously a big drop. And then I think it was Parker Brailsford. So I think those are the centers that I've covered since I've been here. And that's dating back to 2017, right? But maybe DJ Chester, this is an interesting name. So Alabama has scheduled a visit with him. I don't know when the visit is, but I do like, from what I read on DJ Chester and looking kind of at his Pro Football Focus. Ryan Kelly, yeah, I think that was before my time. So big dude at center coming in. And again, I don't know what point he'll get here. All right. Let's see. Suzanne has this to say. Good morning, Suzanne. I appreciate you being here. Bama needs to follow Indiana's game plan. Spend money on juniors and upcoming seniors from the transfer portal who are experienced players and proven. Don't spend big money on incoming freshmen. See, that's why this is a very interesting point, and that's why I say that high school recruiting, I think for the most part, is almost becoming more meaningless because you're having to spend on these top-end players that you're going to have to develop, and by the time they're developed, other people have slid into their DMs and they're going to poach them, right? And you might have to really change kind of your entire philosophy at Alabama, which is crazy to think about because this isn't going to be – there's not going to be a program anymore out there where you can get these guys to wait to play. Like Noah Carter, there is zero reason that Noah Carter should be leaving right now. Like he should be staying in being developed and maybe play a little bit more, right, this year. But I think that's going to happen more and more. So I actually don't – I like this point. Go after guys that are proven, that have more experience, older. And it's almost like now you're almost recruiting guys at like a year and a half, and that's it. Bam, 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 bam. Think about it. Alabama's going to have an entire new offensive line and an entire new defensive line this year. I don't think there's any loyalty anymore at all. Hay points out a good point. He's like, hey, we went 11-4 with the team that could not run. Dude, that stat right there is absolutely mind-blowing to me. I would have never thought that you could get as far as you did without running the football. Alabama finished 123rd in running and still got to the Rose Bowl. Dano, I 100% agree. I think high school recruiting, it's still important for the most part, but these guys aren't going to be here. You really excited about a 2028 freshman or a guy who's coming in? No. It's all about guys in the transfer portal and how quickly you can rebuild your team and strategically doing so, right? There's no more, oh, man, can't wait for this guy to, sit 3 years and be the guy. That's not how it's going to happen. All right. Speaking of the transfer portal, I know you guys are talking about some of this, but new spots, quarterbacks on the move. You guys see this? Why is it that Alabama is just meant to play Byron Brown? Why? They have to play him. It's like some magnetic draw to this guy, okay? So 2 quarterbacks that are on the move that Alabama will face this coming season, right? So Byron Brown, this guy going to Auburn, say what you want about Auburn, all this stuff. This guy's a problem, okay? He's thrown for almost 8,000 yards, almost 2 touchdowns. Now he's going to Auburn in that type of offense with Alex Golish, and they'll be taking on Bama on November 28th in round 3. This will be the 3rd time that you face this guy, and every single time that we played Byron Brown, he was a problem. If this guy, good thing he can't throw deep, but he can run. He's like 230-some pounds. I knew a million miles away that this guy was going to Auburn. I could have told you that during the season. I even have a video, during the season, people got mad at me because I was like, Auburn needs to hire Alex Golish. I said that in, November. Duh. Everybody bounced out from Alex Golish, but this guy going there, he's a problem. And then Ashton Daniels, he's going from Auburn to Florida State. Say what you want about, Auburn and all that. This guy going to Florida State, man, he had a ton of yards against Bama. Do you know he threw for 259 and ran for 108 this season against Bama, against Bama's defense? Ashton Daniels is good. He's a good quarterback. I have no idea what Florida State has coming back. Probably nobody does. That's a transfer portal school. But these are two quarterbacks that, it'll be round 3 with Byron Brown and round 2 with Ashton Daniels. Crazy, right? And hopefully you don't have to play Ty Simpson when he's at Tennessee. How weird is that to even say? Oh, my goodness. Wow. Crimson Angel says DJ Lagway. That would be crazy if DJ Lagway goes to Florida State. I still don't know how I feel about DJ Lagway. I think Ashton Daniels is a good quarterback. All right, what else we got? Okay. Video powered by Sleeper. They're our friends. We appreciate them. $20 when you just download the app itself. The promo code is tailgate. Get a $100 match up to $100. Terms and conditions apply. Right, available in 25 states. And terms and conditions apply, and it's perfect time to make your over-under picks, more or less, for the upcoming playoffs or even the playoffs in college football that are taking place, all right? So download Sleeper, play fantasy football. You know what? I would also download Sleeper. If you play fantasy football, play fantasy football on Sleeper. That's what I do. I'm in 2 leagues. I love it. The interface is great. Works for me. Check them out. The promo code, though, is tailgate. Tailgate, okay? All right, I'll take some calls today, and you guys call in, sound off. Obviously, the trending topics with James Smith just hitting the transfer portal. If you have any graphics that you want me to throw up on the screen or you have questions, just let me know inside the comment box. And be mindful and be courteous to where people are calling in, right? Like, say your point and then let some other people kind of get in. The show works better when we have more people calling into the program, right? So you want to talk about Rico Scott, you want to talk about James Smith, you want to talk about whatever it is. Just let me know, and we'll have a good call-in show right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And to kind of recap the players that are in the transfer portal for the Crimson Tide, these are – I thought I had a graphic. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I have so many graphics that I'm working with down here. In case you're just waking up and you're like, what's going on? Oh my goodness, wait, James Smith? Yes, James Smith just hit the portal as well. All right, so with that said, we'll take some calls, and I appreciate you guys calling in on the program today. All right, we will take our first call, and we will take Mike down in Choctaw. Mike, what's up, man?
Hello, Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. It's kind of been like it's like ups and downs, like Rico Scott coming in, good. James Smith leaving, bad. It's a mix of emotions when you're covering the transfer portal, but the news doesn't stop, so I'm not mad about that. What's up, Mike? How you doing, man? What's on your mind today?
Well, I expect this is the first talking to you. I'm still trying to recover from that butt kicking that we took in the Rose Bowl. That took me by surprise. I thought it was 50-50 that we might win or not, but I nowhere near thought that we'd get beat that bad, and really dominated that bad. But but so be it. So just we got to move on, man. So be it. But poor portal season, Kyle. I expected to lose some in the portal. The good defensive linemen, defensive edge rushers that we're losing, that's kind of a disappointment. But I'm glad to be getting a running back. But and I'm sure there's going to be still more people we'll bring in that we need to bring in. But man, as far as the running game goes, Kyle, I don't know if it's the players that we have, which is possible, man, or the scheming, or a combination of both, because, in that Indiana game was 4th and 1, and the play was for a guy to run 7 yards to try to get 1. That's just bad scheming. That's just a bad X's and O's, in my opinion. But another thing too, Kyle, if Ty Simpson goes to Tennessee, that would not surprise me at the least. I mean, what plays out in college football nowadays, nothing would surprise me, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah, on the line with Mike calling down from Choctaw. Yeah, I get it, man. I made a prediction that made me it went viral in the worst way, picking Alabama to beat Indiana. And then after watching that game, it was absolutely embarrassing. And I feel like, okay, yeah, Ohio State lost as well. Georgia lost as well, right? So Georgia, Ohio State, Bama, all sitting at home at the same time, which is fine. But those teams played better, right? Those teams played kind of to the standard where I think Alabama, you saw how the fine line from where Alabama is compared to, a team like Indiana under Kurt Cignetti and how far Alabama has to get and how much better they have to get to be able to play at that level. I thought there's a big difference from, the quarterfinals to the semifinals, in my opinion. Who's the biggest loss on this transfer board, Mike? What do you think? James Smith, Quay Rusaw, maybe David Bird, the long snapper? Just kidding. What do you think?
Well, either Quay Rusaw or the Keon Keeley, I think both of them had a lot of potential to get a lot of playing time next year in positions of need. As far as I know, the other guys are leaving, going to pro or leaving. So I thought there was a lot of opportunity for them. But, a lot of this portal, I think, Kyle, like we already know, I think a lot of it has to do with the money, where players, because I think they can put themselves out there, and if they don't get selected, well, they can go back to the original team if there's still a spot for them, which there probably will be for them two guys. Mm-hmm. So mostly it's a money thing, but them are the two most disappointing because that's positions of need, and I thought they had opportunity to play. But as far as the wide receiver from Auburn, Cam Coleman, I guess we're still in the possibly can get him. I'm not expecting to get him. I think he'll probably go to, which makes more sense, probably either to Texas or to Texas A&M or even LSU if LSU's in the mix. But about LSU real quick, Kyle. Lane Kiffin, man. Let me ask you a quick question. From this point, do you want to see Ole Miss win out and win the national championship?
I don't know. That's a good question because I love the story of Pete Golding. I think it'd be absolutely hilarious if Pete Golding wins a national title. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Can you just imagine Lane leaving that team? But no. So I guess no to answer you. But I think it would be hilarious if Pete Golding does it. But we will never hear that. You know what will happen? If Ole Miss wins the championship, I promise you this will happen because Lane Kiffin is about him. They will have a parade down in Baton Rouge for the national championship, and they'll be honoring their head football coach. I promise you. And he'll come out and he'll be like holding a trophy. Just wait, it'll be the craziest thing that you've seen, but it's perfect for that kind of personality. What do you think?
Well, I think so, too. Imagine how Lane Kiffin has to feel sitting on a sofa, eating chips and salsa, watching his team in the national championship game. Imagine how low Lane's got to feel in his stomach about how he's worked so hard because, dude, love or hate Lane Kiffin, you got to give him credit for what he did at Ole Miss. Ole Miss has had a 10-win season their entire existence. He broke that ceiling. You got to give him credit. That's why I think he's going to do great things at LSU. He's proven to be a good coach, but I don't feel sorry for Lane Kiffin. He's a multimillionaire living on top of the world, but I just kind of put myself in his shoes and imagine, man, that's my team. They're my guys. That is why I built, and now I got to sit here on the sidelines and watch them play out. But by default, I hope Ole Miss wins out, SEC team, and the story, Pete Golding, yeah, but just being an SEC team by default. Miami Hurricanes, nah. Big Ten teams, nah. They can't win 3 in a row, so definitely Ole Miss. But it was a tough. But again, for us, Kyle, it was a tough loss for Bama, dude. I thought Bama was going to win too. I looked at our roster, Kyle, and by the way, I severely underestimated how good Indiana's quarterback was. I knew he had to be good. Winning the Heisman Trophy, the highlights I've seen, he was good. But, dude, he put it to us, and we got good defensive backs. We were just – he put it – so I underestimated how good Indiana was. But just looking at the roster alone, I thought we were better at every position on the field. But apparently we weren't. And all our weaknesses, the running game being number one, just everything came back to haunt us at one time. Everything went their way, and everything did not go our way. But like I say, man, life goes on. And I think we just got to stay strong and keep looking towards the future. And like you were talking about, Kyle, recruiting classes, I agree. They do not mean what they used to mean, but they're still important to build the core of the team. But, hey, buddy, I got to let you go, man. Take care. Roll Tide. Bye.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right. Mike down in Choctaw. All right. Let's take a 251. Hey, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's up, Kyle? It's Mattress Matt from Mobile.
What's up, Mattress Matt? I appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us this morning, man. Welcome to the program.
Quick side note on Kiffin. He's already trying to take credit, for the Ole Miss playoff wins, even when he's out of there, trying to act like, yeah, I've been on phone calls, coaching the team from the phone and stuff like that.
100%.
Sorry,
no,
buddy.
no. I think you're 100%.
You're not going to get any credit.
Dude, I 100% think that he is going to make the most out of Ole Miss winning. He's going to turn it into it's him still. Just wait. I promise you, every single thing that goes right for Ole Miss, he's going to frame it that it's working for him, and he'll continue to say that it's Saban and him doing it together. Just wait. I've already seen this kind of song and dance. It's genius because people believe it, but, it is what it is. Anyways, man, welcome to the show. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, he's going to try to take credit if they win the national championship. But anyway, what I was going to say is, Alabama. I feel like they're I've got friends that are Bama fans, and they're saying that I'm very negative, but and I'm thinking like staying positive but not changing what you're doing doesn't make any sense. Like if you're an alcoholic and you keep drinking and getting DUIs, but you're like, you know what, I'm going to keep drinking and I'm going to stay positive. You're still going to keep getting in trouble, So Alabama, they're going to have to change what they're doing. There's nothing to stay positive about right now because Kalen DeBoer has lost control of his team. Alabama is not a logo. I could care nothing about the Alabama logo, the crimson color, the location of the school. The reason I became an Alabama fan when I was 9 years old was because when I watched other games and I actually saw a distinction between Alabama. They were more physical, they were more violent, and never did I see another team out physical them. Mm-hmm. We might lose the game, but we would lose scratching and clawing, and Bama was still the more physical team. Mm-hmm. So I've gotten to where I don't even care about the score anymore. I would rather lose a game, but we are Alabama. What's the point in being an Alabama fan if Alabama is not Alabama? We're not fans of the logo. We're fans of the team. Why are we fans of the team? Just because I'm from Alabama? No. Just because, my family is from Alabama and went to Alabama? No. That's not the only reason. I support Bama because of the identity that they have. They're more physical. They're more disciplined. And this is before Nick Saban even came. More physical, more disciplined, development. You would see players improve. You would bring in a young player and they would improve. They would get better. They would get faster. They would get stronger. You don't see any of this happening in Alabama. So why are we saving face and saying we're just going to keep supporting Bama when they're not Bama? Kalen DeBoer, he is not an Alabama football coach. He is not a football coach that should be coaching the University of Alabama. Why? Because of his coaching style. An Alabama coach has to have control of the players. They have to be a disciplinarian, and they have to have control of the players. They have to have development, training, coaching, physicality, strength, and I'm not seeing any of that from Kalen DeBoer. He's a hands-off, let the inmates run the asylum type of coach, and that's not going to work. So this is Kalen DeBoer. This is your last year. This is it. This is the last year. I don't even care if we get to the playoffs. If I see the type of Alabama team that I saw this year, then I will support somebody else. I will become an Indiana fan, or I will go wherever the old Alabama. I will go wherever the spirit of Alabama. I will go wherever that went to. But it's not at Alabama right now.
Thanks for the call, Mattress Matt. I appreciate you, bro. Mattress Matt, speaking, a lot of people agreeing with Mattress Matt inside the comment box. You know what I think we need? We need a preach emoji. I'm not happy with our emojis right now. It's something that I will work on. Fan funders get to use like emojis, and we need to get some emojis better on there. So appreciate it. So, all right, call in line open. All right, 484, you're up next. All right, welcome to the show.
Hey, Kyle, this is Kim from Philadelphia.
Hi, Kim. I appreciate you calling from Philadelphia. Eagles fan?
Oh, yes, lifelong.
So we have to talk, Kim. So we got the 49ers are battling Philadelphia. Give us the quick outlook. You think it's going to be you think the 49ers get bounced out up in Philly?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Number one, we're playing at home. And number two, remember in 2023, it was the 49ers that broke that Eagles team. But really, that was the best thing that ever happened to them because we all wanted Nick Sirianni fired. Mm-hmm. And instead of firing him, they made sure that he went out and got Kellen Moore as the OC and old school Vic Fangio as the DC. And Vic Fangio has turned that defense around, and that's the reason why I'm calling, because I think that there are a lot of similarities between the Eagles and our Crimson Tide right now. Mm-hmm. The head coach, now I've been a supporter of DeBoer since he came. Mm-hmm. However, he is losing this team. He is losing the fan base, and the brand has taken a major hit. And I really believe that that's why, I mean, besides the NIL and the draw from the other schools and the tampering, I really believe that the players now are leaving because I think that that loss was so embarrassing and traumatic, and they see the writing on the wall, and they're getting out because I don't think that they're proud to play for this team anymore. And that breaks my heart because it's not how it has to be. Now, I blame Greg Byrne, number one, for not asking Nick Saban on who his successor should be. I think instead Greg Byrne wanted to go out and make his own legacy. Well, he made the wrong choice. However, we're stuck with Coach DeBoer for another year, I presume. So we have to live what we have right now. But if he doesn't make a change at OC and DC, and I'm not talking about his West Coast people that have this soft mentality. I mean, and, you know, I'm hearing people say, oh, he's not for the SEC. Well, the SEC looks a lot different now, too, that these Big Ten teams, and even look at Miami. They're ACC, the worst team in the league, but they have that knock your teeth out mentality on both sides of the ball. And if DeBoer doesn't wise up and get an OC worth salt and a DC, and I know that Kane did a great job this year to a certain degree, but there's got to be something going on that now we're losing James Smith and Quay Russaw and Keon Keeley. I mean, Kyle, come on. You know, I feel like if they really were bought into that side of the ball as well, they would not be leaving. So I love Coach DeBoer as a person. I think he's a wonderful human being, but he better wise up and get the staff in here that can really turn this team around. And I mean tough, violent, knock your teeth out, tear your head off mentality, or he's done. And I really, really don't have the patience to see this team do what they did for the past 2 years. So thanks for taking my call, Kyle. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to your Eagles. I know it's going to be tough sledding. We'll see how it goes. Good call. Call again. Hell of a call. All right, thanks, Kim. Calling from Philly with speaking a lot of facts there. I did agree with a lot of the points actually that she was making. 850, you're up next. All right, let's take it. Hey, welcome to the program. Who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Cody from Crestview, Florida.
Welcome in, Cody. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, man, just to let you know, James Smith is a loss, and so is Quay Russaw. But the people in the transfer portal, like, look, I don't blame them. The problem is this. I still think till this day they see the writing on the wall. They see the bullshit of the boy and everybody else. I think us Bama fans know we sort of been lied to in the case of this instance because I like the boy as a human. But here's the thing about this. The whole aspect is he's got a coaching staff that's soft. The players, when they went to the portal, they know, hey, we can't be developed here because the coaching staff is not developing it. It's all nonchalant. All the offensive line is either no playing time or lack of development, and they won't development. It's more like, I don't know, a gentleman's club at Alabama than it is actual Alabama football. It needs to be like, for me, I think that us Bama fans need to know, the boy, you have an 8-year, $87 million buyout, $10.7 million contract. I know 15 of the trustees at Alabama. I know this for one aspect. You're on borrowed time with them. This whole thing, you've lost it. If you don't make adjustments, it looks bad to them, like literally bad. And I feel bad that like us Bama fans, we want something better. You need to change your O-line. You need to change your offensive coordinators. You need to find some gurus and some studs in the offensive line. You need to find some running back coach who knows how to run the ball. You need to find a running scheme, but you need everyone to be physically, mentally prepared and physically developed the right way. If you can't, there's nobody in the NFL that would even touch Alabama players when they get to the draft because of the biggest lack of development they've ever had. They're going to get killed in the NFL. I would hate for like a guy like Ty Simpson or Keelan Russell and Austin Mack to get into the pros and they'll lack the development. I don't like to see, like, look at Kaden Proctor. If Kaden Proctor goes he's going to the league. If he gets into the league, he's going to get smoked by a 280-pound linebacker that's in there as a Pro Bowler for 6 years because of lack of development. And I feel bad. So thoughts on that, Kyle?
Yeah, I appreciate it, Cody. Thank you so much, man. I'll answer on the other line. Thanks for your continued support for calling in, man. Thank you so much, Cody. Cody out in Crestview, a frequent caller of the program. Yeah, I think, hearing a lot of the frustration today is probably more of the frustration that I've heard in the past couple of days. I think this is, I can't, we've had a call-in show for probably, 10, 2 weeks. Usually I do it like periodically, but I think because, things are hot, wanted to take a lot of volume. And I think today, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm starting to hear more frustration from the callers. And I think what is upsetting to the callers and I think to the fans, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do see that, fans understand there's going to be a process with the transfer portal. You're going to lose guys, 15, whatever, guys that are being maybe poached or trimming the fat. Well, it's common. It's going on everywhere. But I think what's making fans mad right now and that fans feel there's a deeper issue is the fact that they lost Quay Rusa, James Smith, Keontae, those type of losses. If we continue on this track, like if the next 5 transfers, if there's even that many, I have no idea. But if we continue to go down that path, it does add worry because you're like, something's going on. Something's going on in the past. And I kind of go back to what Kim was saying. I was talking to someone close to the program. A lot of the players inside were embarrassed by that loss and are just like, yo, I'm done. And we have fans on here that are like, yo, it's year 2. Yeah, it is year 2. But you quickly see how brand image and kind of like association with like the head coach is affecting not only the fans, the players, but it's real. So this coming year, I realistically don't think it's possible that they get rid of Grub. I do feel that they could probably make some staff changes. I'm kind of curious. The longer we go, it seems like that's not going to happen. But I don't know. Some people are still saying that the O-line coach might get let go. I haven't seen anything on that lately. We take our next call from Angel out in Pigeon Forge. Angel, you call back, dog. 774.
Hey, my name is. Hey, Tom, how you doing? This is Jay. My name is Jalen.
Hey, what's up, Jalen? Did you say?
Yes, Jalen, calling from Dallas, Texas, man.
What's up? We got Jalen calling from the Lone Star State. Come with it, Jalen. I appreciate you being here, man. Hope you're having a good day. Come on.
You're having a good day as well, man. After seeing, Keely hit the portal, I was already kind of a little worried, but after Clay,
Hey, yo, I'm sorry, Jalen. It's kind of cutting out, bro. Call back again with the better connection. My bad. All right, Angel, I'm pigeon for you. All right, Angel, I don't know what happened, man. It keeps bouncing out. All right, call-in line is open, 205-850-1994. But kind of going back to what I was saying, I just think there's a lot of frustration right now because of the recent names that have gone on, which kind of, alludes to maybe something that, deeper is happening within the program. And then, we have fans inside the comment box that are also like, look, support the guys that want to be here. I think that's a great idea. Those guys are not just here, though, because they're just getting a degree. I think they're here because they're getting paid, and they've been told, we're going to play you more this year. I'm curious to see what happens with the running back room now that you got Hollywood Smothers in. I like the ad. I'm wondering if that, leads to kind of a subtraction down the road from the running back room. Whatever. You need better players, right? And you need to commit to running the football, right? You look to the teams that are successful. Are they running the ball? Have they committed to running the ball? Yeah, 100%. We need to do a better job going forward with that. All right, we'll see if we can get Angel in here.
What's going on, Kyle?
What's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Come with it.
I want to keep it brief today. We have a problem in Tuscaloosa. I mean, we can't keep losing our players like this. This is ridiculous, and it's a shame because they worked hard on practice all year long and they just throw it away like that. It doesn't make any sense, But it's a damn shame because there's too much talent on this roster and coaches just being coach. But we got to clean house, man. But also go Eagles, Roll Tide. I got Eagles winning by 30.
30 points?
Roll Tide.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Oh, God. All right. Well, I don't know about that, Angel. Usually I like your takes, but I don't like that one. All right. Thanks for calling in, Angel. I appreciate you, Doc.
You too.
The Eagles over the Niners by 30 points? Oh, my goodness. Come on. That's ridiculous. What's the line on the game? Jarvis, what's the line on the Eagles Niners? I'm going to guess Philadelphia, 6.5? Yo, Brock Purdy's been on a heater. Yo, you get one wide receiver healthy for the 49ers. We can scratch and claw in that game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're beating the Niners by 30. That's a hard road up in Philly, but I don't know. All right, 774. We'll try it again, man.
Hey, Kyle, how you doing? Hopefully this is a little bit better.
Yeah, Jalen, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, this sounds much better, man. Come with it. Jalen from Dallas, Texas. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. After seeing Keely hit the portal, I was already a little bit worrisome, but after seeing James Smith and Quay hit it, I definitely think there's a bit of a culture issue. I think the board and those guys kind of messed it up a bit, but I don't think nothing's going to get fixed until we get rid of that O-line coach, man, because O-line play was bad. There's a lot of things in-house that we need to fix, man. I feel like we're not as physical anymore. We're not as tough as we used to be. And then I just think that Pac-12 mentality that the board and those guys have, that's what's kind of causing those issues, man. They're soft. That's just how I feel. I'm just used to bully ball that I was presented on growing up watching Saban and those teams play.
You know what, Jalen? I think this could be a real big opportunity for Coach Kalen DeBoer to take a huge step in kind of the maturation of his coaching philosophy. I'm talking about taking a step from being a good football coach to the next level, whatever that may be. And that's going to come with making some very difficult choices about coming to the SEC and having to cut some ties with some people that are on your staff that might not be cut for the SEC in terms of the type of offensive philosophy that you want to have. And because I think, look, DeBoer coming over here, I think he's trying to make a metamorphosis. But sometimes you you've been here for 2 years. You understand that you haven't had the run game, so you need to be able to take a bigger step forward. All right. It looks like they cleaned house from the offensive line standpoint, so you're kind of being proactive in that aspect. But are you going to do that? And if we have the same thing with Ryan, I'm telling you, this is why it's really dangerous to tether yourself to Ryan Grub right now, okay? The trajectory of Grub over the last 5-6 seasons, I have the data points. I was working on a graphic to show you guys. It's not ready for this show. He is completely trending away from the run, okay? The tighter he stays tethered to Grub, the warmer his seat is going to get. Alabama fans are not, and administration, they're not going to stand another year of a team that has no running identity and that cannot run the football. They already paid a running back. Okay, let's see if that can fix that. But you still need an offensive line. You still need an offensive line coach, and you still need to commit to running the ball. Right. And I think if you don't do that, Kalen DeBoer, his seat will get hot. Fans, look, I say this all the time. Alabama fans want you to recruit at an elite level. He's doing that. Alabama fans want really good defense. We saw improvements there. We did. Kane Womack did a better job. The last game, that was Indiana was, that was a buzzsaw. And they want to run the ball. They don't want to be a wishbone team, but they want a commitment to running the ball. And right now, that is the biggest area. And overall, they want a dominating, imposing, get off the bus, and you're terrified to play them. I don't know if you're going to get that. Exactly. But if you can run the ball, that'll calm people down. What else you got, Jalen?
Right. Exactly. And that just goes back to that tradition, man. Like I said, we come from a long list of great backs, man. Just the T.J. Yeldon, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Sean Alexander, Trent Richardson, Eddie Lacy. There are so many backs, and there were so many players we have that just showed that physical will, man. And I just want them to bring that back so bad, dog. And I know people want Womack out the door, but I honestly like Kane, man. He just needs to learn how to send pressure without staying in man all damn day. Because I felt like that was a problem in the Rose Bowl too, man. That was the most man we've ran all year, but Womack just has to learn how to disguise it a little bit, mix a little bit of man with his own, send nickel blitzes, send rabbit blitzes, but also keep those guys back. But like I said, that's all I got, Carl, man. I hope y'all have a great day. I
appreciate it, man. Thank you, Jalen. I appreciate it. Because I would say the defense, look, we were tough on Kane. But Kane, this is the difference between Kane and where Grub is, okay? Kane, we were hard on him when he first came here, but Kane made improvements towards the back end of the year. I'm talking the first year that DeBoer got here, right? 2024? They made better adjustments, and the defense started playing better. And then this year, after they got punched in the chin and he started talking with his dad more, they started making major adjustments, and they got really good and became the backbone of this team, thank goodness. Now, with Ryan Grub, we never saw an improvement from the offense at all. You could point it to a lot of different things. It starts with the OC, in my opinion. You guys feel a lot of it is on the offensive line coach, the offensive line. I think it's kind of a culmination, but a lot of the schematics that he was physically calling just didn't make sense. So that's why we're so hard on him right now at this current point in time. Plus, we look at the data and we're like, the Seattle Seahawks just won the NFC 1 year after they let go of Grub. Is that a coincidence? They just ran the football for 180 yards on the San Francisco 49ers. They committed to running the ball in that do-or-die game. Right? All right. Let's see. 936. Hey, thanks. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who are on the line with him? Where are you calling in from?
Roll Tide. This T. Rich out of Lufkin, Texas. What's up, Kyle?
What's up, T. Rich? I appreciate you being here, man. Come with it.
Man, like the caller said, I think Kaden DeBoer do got too much of that Pac-12 mentality because, offensive line was extremely soft. Now, this is scary. We have 3 of the top contributors on defense on the line that's entered the portal. It's like back-to-back days. So something is going on. Do they not want to play for Coach Womack?
Mm-hmm.
Something is going on, and when I called in the last time, I told you 3 coaches I think we need to go get: Sam Pittman, Bo Davis, Jeremy Pruitt. We need to, if we can get sincerity back, we need somebody to help us bring back that dominancy because we do not have it. Man, strength and conditioning coach. I'm harping on that too. The guys, okay, put it like this: James Smith, granted how talented he is, 5-star, highly touted. London Simmons, 3-star, look more physical at times than James Smith. I don't know if this NIL has just screwed up college football that bad. Do players not want it as bad? I mean, the game is the game. It's over. But suck it up, Buttercup. Like, instead of entering the transfer portal, man, go hard. Okay, this ain't going to happen to me again. It's like, we have no heart. We have no identity. We've been missing alphas at Alabama for the longest time now. All we've been getting is prima donnas. I'm sorry to say that, but, man, it's – and I mean, Grub, we can do without Grub. Look at what Georgia's doing with their OC. Oregon's doing with their OC. These are not, they're pounding the ball. All of this throwing the ball 90 times a game, yes. Like, I feel like throwing the ball, to me, takes away from a lot of the physicality than the run, because when you're running the ball, you're literally competing in the trenches. I got to push this player off me so the running back can get – when you just pass protecting and just standing up all day, just like you taking the physicality away from the team. All of that throwing the ball 90 times a game, that's outrageous, Kyle. But this is really alarming. We need to see if do the players not want to play for Kane? Womack, like what's going on? Like it's something brewing that we do not know about, and it's bigger than money.
Before I let you go, T. Rich, you brought up something because a lot of people have been asking for Pruitt, right? For Cochran, for who else? Oh, Bo Davis, like you said, right? Thank you, Lag Gaming, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Another name that they haven't brought up, but I'm glad you did, is Coach Sal Sinceri. Okay, so Cochran was here when I was here, and so was Sal Sinceri. And I'm telling you, there is not a coach on this staff right now. And Sal's a little bit older now. Everybody knows who his sons are. But when Sal was here, he was coaching the outside linebackers when I was here for 2 years. I have never seen that guy was like old school. Some of the things that he said right now, they couldn't even have reporters out there. True story.
Right.
One of the SIDs came up to us and was like, "Hey, can you please edit the footage of what Sal was saying?" Because we were right there, and there was a Terrell Lewis, Christian Miller. They were on that team, and I'm telling you that mentality. I saw that. I used to see that guy. He would get a Mountain Dew and a bag of seeds. It was like completely old school, and that mentality. I'm telling you, man. And like Jeremy Pruitt, remember that interview? He never even had asparagus before. You're just talking about like a different mentality, like Scott Cochran. The type of just mentality that he had, right? So I think what people are wanting, maybe what they're wanting is like they're asking for Pruitt. They're asking for like somebody with that type of mentality to come on the team to instill kind of that dog mentality. And I look, Jamarcus Shepard was kind of like that hype man, right? Kind of like the takers. But who is that guy now? I don't know. Of course the guys get animated and stuff like that on the sidelines from time to time, but you need somebody like that can be the heartbeat of that room. And plus, look, Saban, and look, I get it. It's the end of Saban and all that stuff, but that's kind of the mantra that they had. So maybe they can get that at some point, but it comes with making changes. And I think the players, we had a call in. There was somebody who was in the military, and they said that the players and kind of like the regiments take the identity of the leaders, right, of their captains. And people want to look, and if you're a dog like out there, if you have like a dog mentality, you don't want to be coached by anything else, anything less, right? Like you want to be coached hard. You want to be like, that's what you want. And if you don't have that, then you're not going to be pushed. Anyways, I appreciate the call, man. Anything else? You want to make one more point before you go?
Man, we wish the best of luck to the Tide. We don't know what's to come of all of this because, like I said, all of we've been lacking physicality for a while, and it's unreal. I mean, also with the interest of the new running back coming in, what do you think this means for people like AK Deer or Riley? It seems like they have a type that they're going for.
Yep.
They have to understand they're in the SEC. The type they're going for is this small scat back type. But still, how long is they going to last in the SEC? Like, I mean, are we going to be running screens all the time, or are we going to be like, I don't know, but Roll Tide Kyle.
All right, man, take it easy.
The best of the board.
All right, man, take it easy. All right. Yeah, I mean, look, I guess the only thing is about Hollywood is he is a little bit undersized. You look at some of the later backs that did run for like close to 1,000 yards or ran for over 1,000 yards, a little bit bigger, right? I mean, Brian Robinson, Najee Harris, Jahmyr Gibbs, probably similar in stature to Hollywood that we got. Tony says we're at basketball school. Yo, can you imagine what Kentucky thinks about Alabama basketball, right? Alabama basketball has beat Kentucky 4 times in a row. 4 times. Right? Kentucky was like, well, at least we'll always be better than Alabama basketball. You imagine how deflated they are? 4 times in a row is crazy. All right. Let's see. 404. All right. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Hello?
Yeah, 404. What's going on? You're on the line. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
This is Big Homie 60, Marietta, Georgia.
What's up, Big Homie 60? Calling from Georgia. Come with it, man. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you joining us.
Hey, Kyle. I'm still reeling from the butt whooping that Bama received against Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, what I wanted to talk about was, DeBoer is not the coach for the SEC or Bama.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is too soft. He is too soft. And the offensive coordinator, Grub, he must go. He was a big hindrance to the offense. He did nothing to, try and get a running game at some point in the season. It was just horrible. And, I know that him and DeBoer are friends, but you got to put that aside. You got to put friendship aside and do what's best for the team. Mm. And then you got this guy Smothers coming in. We got good backs on the team now, but there was nobody to block for them. How can they prove themselves and show what they can do if there was nobody to block? I mean, it's just, it needs to be a cleaning of house in the coaching staff. Offensive coordinator, O-line coach, and it's just horrible. That's all I got, Kyle.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for calling in and voicing your opinion. Yeah, I just saw a tweet out there by Alabama assistant football coach Clinton Dix, who a lot of people love, right? And you love his personality, love what he did. Player here for absolutely, 100%. He says this, go watch the tape. He just posted this. I just saw it. Thanks for the heads up. Who was it inside the comment box? Somebody pointed this out. Luis, what's up, man? I appreciate it. Yeah, I just saw this. He says, and this is from right? He says, go and watch the tape and tell me what y'all got. Let me reread this. Go watch the tape and tell me what guys y'all are upset about leaving based off production. I'm in the office all day. I'll wait. Huh. So, yeah, I'll get it up on the screen so you guys can see it in a minute, too. So, yeah. I've never seen another assistant like that, like openly say that. Maybe is becoming that dog that we need back there. Right? All right. 737. Mike, are you double dipping?
Yes, Kyle, I'm double dipping, and this is why, man, because when, you're a great show host, you let people call in and talk about what they want to talk about, But the haters are out in full force today, man. We had like 3 or 4 Bama haters and DeBoer haters back to back, and so be it. So I got to call in real quick and defend our team and defend our coach, man. Because, first of all, like, the transport portal, there's 4,000 people in the transport portal. We're not immune to that. Mm-hmm. We're going to lose good players. We're going to gain good players, and it doesn't define our team. But, Kyle, look, let's step back, everybody, and take a look at the big picture, okay? Are we better than we were last year? But before this, this is my opinion. Yes, we're better than we were last year. And before this year started, what was our goal? Our goal, I know the standard is to win the national championship. I know that. But our goal was to make the playoffs. And we made the playoffs, and we were one of the top 8 teams in the country, the top 8. We have based our Oklahoma loss. I mean, I know we live in a world of what have you done for me lately, and the last game was extremely disappointing. But still, man, we've gotten better year over year. We've got the number 1 SEC recruiting class come in. We're going to end up probably at least going 50-50 in the portal, coming out better. But, man, I can't believe the people just ready to get rid of their coach. And do we really want to get rid of Ryan Grub? I mean, who we got better? I don't know, man. It just blows my mind how the world we live in today, just what have you done for me lately? People are ready to get rid of the another thing too, Kyle, my rant's almost over, man, but it's a different world in college football, man. Saban was good because we recruited Harvard the best players. That's what made Saban good. You can't do that no more. It's NIL, it's transport portal. It's a disaster. So the year of us dominating because of better roster, obviously it's over. Look at the game that just happened. But, dude, it's not as disastrous as it seems to be. We've gotten better year over year. We're a top 8 team, number 1 recruiting class. I just got to stick with it for a second, Kyle.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in, Mike. I always appreciate and value your opinion, man. Thanks for the double dip, man. All right, yeah. You know what? If you do zoom out, and thanks for the super chat, Lag Gaming. I appreciate you, dog. Always, man. I know it's hard to believe, but if you do zoom out, they did take a step forward, right? I know it's crazy because you're like, it's hard to see things that are positive, but they did take a step forward. Now, in some areas you didn't, but collectively they did, okay? It would have been an absolute train wreck, and I still wonder if there would have been changes made, like major changes made, if they didn't beat Auburn, right? So, back we got a 607. Yeah,
good morning, Kyle. How you doing? This is Bob from Gulfport.
Hey, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Did you say Rob or Bob?
Bob. Right. I know my name is Robert on the whatchamacallit, but I can be called Bob, though. That's okay.
All right, welcome, Bob. I appreciate you coming in. Go ahead.
All right, it's a great show, a lot of emotion, and I do love it. And I love reading all the comments, too. A few things, though. When I think, though, that most people, we know about the portal. We know we're going to lose people. What concerns the people, what concerns me is the coaching. Pure and simple. Mm-hmm. Some bad news. Grub is going to be here next year. Grub is the sort of guy who thinks he's the smartest person in whatever room he's in, unless Mike McCormick of Seattle is in that room. Then he was taught a lesson. And I know you got people here about Grub this, Grub that. Well, here's a few questions to ask all the Grub supporters. How does an offensive coordinator not even target a Ryan Williams in one game? Not even a target. How does the same offensive coach not even target Latia Brooks in a game, in the championship game, after Brooks had a great game against Oklahoma? Make it make sense, Kyle. Make it make sense. And as far as that offensive line coach is concerned, I'm going to tell you this right now. If he comes back another year, either Proctor or Carroll aren't going to be here next year, because these guys are concerned about what's going to happen regarding their development, regarding what's going to happen, what position they're going to use. And I tell you, I can see Grub one more year. He's only had 1 year. Okay, fair enough. Let's see what he does. But as far as this Kapovich, and if you check Kapovich's resume, his coaching experience, it's not very impressive at all. No matter where he was at, it's not very good at all. Saban wouldn't even give the guy a never mind if he applied for a job. And next year, we got a good schedule next year. If the board doesn't take us to the playoffs, he's gone. And if we should lose a game prior to Georgia, there's going to be a lot of talk about replacing him. I'll talk about that some other time because I got a candidate. And one more thing about Grub as the offensive coordinator, and make this make sense. You're playing Georgia, you score 7 points. You're playing Indiana, you score 3 points. So, yes, we're among the top 8 teams. And what did we do against 2 of those top 8 teams? 10 points in 2 games. And I'm an old-timer. I'm a geezer. I've been following Alabama football, believe it or not, since 1963. And I know Coach Bryant had a few good years. I'm sorry, a few bad years. I think it was 7-6 in 1 year, 7-5 the next year. They got blown out in a couple bowl games. But Coach Bryant knew how to adjust. He knew how to get the best coaches, and we saw what happened. And I tell you, I don't know. If the board can turn around, that would be great. I don't think he can. And a further point, too, hate to talk about the other school, but Golish is going to do to Auburn what Signetti did at Indiana. He's going to bring a lot of guys from his old team, and he's going to pick those top guys from the conference where he played at. Kyle, it's a good show. Love all the people here. Love all the comments. You keep it up. But, man, we might be in a world of shit, as they used to say in that Stanley Kubrick movie, right? What's the name of that movie? Yeah, you know about the Vietnam movie. You're in a world of shit now.
Just ask the undefeated. They'll help you out inside the com box. I appreciate the call, Bob. Take it easy, bro.
Later, Kyle. Thank you very much.
Yeah, take it easy, man. I do wonder some things that made my ears perk up that Bob was talking about. There were a couple games where certain wide receivers were just not involved at all, and I think behind the scenes you were like, you automatically thought, well, the player, wasn't, the player was hurt, right? But like Lazier Brooks, I totally feel that he should be involved going for correct me if I'm wrong. Like Bob was saying, I think Lazier Brooks towards the end of the year was the number 1 wide receiver on the team. Okay. Guys rise up, guys go up and down at different points of the year. That's why you have depth. That's why you got a lot of different receivers. The way that Lazier was playing, he was playing with his hair on fire. Now, I guess we'd have to go and look, and maybe you guys have. Did Indiana just have a plan to shut Lazier Brooks down? It didn't seem like they were trying to get the football at all to Lazier Brooks, right? And it seems like sometimes almost like Kalen DeBoer would kind of be like, yeah, we're going to try to get Ryan Williams the football. Okay, great. But Lazier Brooks was the guy that needed maybe 7 to 10 type catches in a game like that. And I know Austin Mack later on the game kind of fired one, that was uncatchable. But, yeah, I always thought that was kind of interesting on that point. But, yeah, good call from L.A. All right, 251. Hey, welcome to the program. Yeah, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Go ahead.
Hey, Kyle, it's Matt again. I'm double dipping. Sorry.
What's up, Matt? Come with it, bro.
But
yeah.
Another caller had called in earlier, and it got me fired up again. But this whole idea of if somebody's getting paid $5 million, then we have NIL, and everybody's getting paid all this money. Then the coaches lose all of their control, and you don't have the ability now to have any discipline on your team. So I don't believe that. I think that you can have both. Look at the most expensive schools that you go to as in high school are the military schools. The schools where you send your kids to, and they're going to be disciplined harshly. And so I do not buy into that idea that NIL has created a situation where players are in charge.
Mm.
And I think Kirk Cignetti is a perfect example. When I look at him, you know that he's in charge of his team. And when you look at Saban, all of the coordinators came in and out all the time, but it didn't really matter because Saban had control of the whole team. And if something didn't happen, you knew there was going to be consequences. And you hear DeBoer in all of his interviews and stuff, you know, when people ask DeBoer, like, hey, this player did this, what do you think about doing about it? He said he has he already knows he did wrong. I've heard DeBoer say that several times. That player already knows that he did wrong. He's already beaten himself up. We don't need to beat him up anymore. That just shows you the mentality that he has. And I don't think that that's because of NIL. So I think that that Alabama is not done for. But maybe this is a lesson learned with DeBoer, that from here on out, when we're making like decisions about who we're going to hire as our next coach and stuff like that, that they need to meet the Alabama philosophy, which is not just winning points and recruiting. It's discipline has to be number one. Physicality, strength and conditioning. That has to be number one. If we have to go to the prisons in Alabama and like hire the biggest and baddest people to put people on the ground, that's what needs to happen. You need to see the Alabama football team putting people on the ground, you know? So that has to be number one. If we're bigger and stronger and we're putting people on the ground, then they can't beat us. So I think the score will reflect the physicality, you know? So, but sometimes you have to make mistakes to learn your lesson. And I think DeBoer was a mistake. Unless DeBoer has some kind of God moment over the off season and he has a complete personality change, which is possible. I'm not saying that's not possible. It's possible for DeBoer to have an epiphany and to truly have like a personality change from within, but it's got to happen in his soul. It's got to happen within himself. He's got to realize, but usually you don't realize stuff like that unless you have pain, which I would say that caused him a lot of pain, you know, from the Indiana game. That if that put enough pain and suffering in his heart where he's willing to look at himself and say, where have I gone wrong and what can I do different? I'm going to start prioritizing discipline over everything else. That has to happen. If that doesn't happen, then we're just going to be trading players and recruiting players and transferring players, but everything's going to be the same. So it doesn't matter who we're recruiting if the heart and soul doesn't change. So that's all I got.
Sounds good, Matt. Thanks for calling back, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Someone said, who was it? Anna said Portal Prison. Woo, man. Yeah, a lot of emotion today. I get it. I know. It's and there's kind of like little glimmers that make me feel better. And then, you know, news happens and it makes you feel a little bit worried. You start to have, you know, I think the thing that threw us off the most, and I'll take my next call in just a second. I think the thing that probably threw us off most, and I hear a lot of common themes with people calling in, is we are still grieving from that loss to Indiana, right? So what stages of grief are we in from that loss? I'm telling you, that loss is bad. All right, let's look it up. Stages of grief. Okay, let's see where we're at. Okay, shock. Yeah, that was crazy. And you know what's crazy about the stages of grief? They're different for everybody. Anger, hear anger. Let me just ask you, okay? Shock, anger, denial, depression, trying to process it, right? I think the one area that we haven't moved towards, though, is the acceptance and the hope, right? So maybe that'll come after the portal when kind of things settle down. But I think we're kind of in those areas. All right, 447.
Hey, what's going on? Vincent from Maryland.
What's up, Vincent? Come with it, bro. Welcome to the show.
So the way I see it, I mean, they're not building from the trenches. I mean, they have excellent corner play, excellent safeties, excellent wide receivers, top, quarterbacks. But Indiana, all of Nick Saban's children, they're all building from the trenches. There's no Will Anderson, no Keenan Williams, Jonathan Allen, Darian Payne. There's nobody like that on the roster. Even from the recruiting that the board has done to this point, 5 stars, everybody is from linebacker down to safety corner, even Gyra coming in. Why don't you get Zion, right? You need to build from the defensive standpoint. You can't get home with 4, and so you get 8 up. And so from a defensive schematic piece, before we even talk about the offensive line, it's one of those things where the defensive 4, I mean, look at the Cleveland Browns. The front 4 can make the back end look better. Yep. And so I think they need to reprioritize their NIL spending and get dogs on the front line, get you a 5-star lockdown corner. Can't tell you who's on the other side of Denzel Ward. Doesn't matter. They just need to be serviceable. And now you can play. And Indiana did the same thing. When you look at roster to roster, their front 4 could get home. They're serviceable. They're talented, all of them juniors, seniors. Yep. Safety play. I mean, if you look at our roster versus them, our safeties in corner way better than Indiana's on paper. But it didn't matter. Their front 4 is getting home. Yeah. Flip it Riverside onto the offensive line. Staying standpoint, we don't. It's schematic. It's the scheme. We don't hold our blocks. We don't double team. We finesse. If you look at the tape, even in run block formation, it looked like we pass blocking. The guys aren't coming off the line firing, and that's schematic. And that's so that the defense doesn't know if it's a run or a pass. But now because they're firing and they're just trying to get to the quarterback, and if the running back gets the ball, then we'll hit them on the way. Then you run into issues.
Let me ask you, Vincent. You're making a change. If you could, does there need to be a change with the coaching staff? Is it more schematic? Is it? It sounds like you're also going for kind of who we're bringing in at this point in terms of like mentality or maybe scheme fit. What do you do right now if you're on the staff? Like today, you're in the boardroom with the guys. Like what's kind of the process that you're going forward?
Well, funny enough, when you have a GM who's a former lineman, you would think that he understands the importance of it. So I think the room is extremely competent, but I do also feel as though you can't send shock waves nationally that we've messed up. And so I do think there's some pride that's ultimately there too. But I think you got to do some slight tweaks and be able to assess the room and see who we have in there. But from a line standpoint, you can't tell me from an offensive standpoint that we're trash like that. Like, it's just impossible. But from a schematic piece, who's blocking? You got the tight end on the line, rarely flexes to the backfield to act as a fullback and an H-back for the running back. Like, think about how often that would occur within our offensive scheme. Rarely.
Yeah, it seemed like that happened more with Robbie Oots than it did this year. Right?
Now you're cooking. And what's Robbie doing in the league? Cutting up, doing what he's supposed to do, right? And so why would an offensive coordinator do that from a schematic point? It's because how many tackle for losses did we have to endure? That fullback is there to clean up that trash if somebody, finesses off the block to at least give the running back an opportunity to get to the line of scrimmage first. How often was the running back getting tackled before he even got to the line of scrimmage?
Yeah,
to now be able to get into his third step to be able to accelerate. So it's like, you can't have what I would consider layman's, like everyone from myself to anybody coming in, we're layman as it relates to the hours that these coaches put in, right? But how are we making greater points in terms of solution orientation than what we're seeing put on the field? That's tough. And so that's what's, kind of festering within the Alabama community and really causing an issue where it's like, listen, man, he hears it. And that's the other thing. The players, see, it's something that festers, and you don't want to have that carry into, the new year and into spring ball and stuff like that because it's putting undue pressure. And God bless the board for his personality set. He loves his players, and they love him as a person and everything else.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a fire and accountability, because to your point, you frame and will impersonate the leadership that you have, and he has a spirit about him where God is good and everything's going to be okay, and we're going to which God is good, but God can also have it rain for 40 days and 40 nights. So there's got to be consequences to actions, and just being able to hold people accountable to where you practice is how you perform.
Yeah.
And so there's a lack of transition that we see ultimately. So.
Yeah, good call, Vincent. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, call back. I appreciate the schematic approach, man. I really do, man. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
All right, bless you, Kyle.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, fam. That's probably a good stopping point for right now. If I didn't get your calls, don't hold it against me. Just call in next time. A lot of call volume, as you know, being that we're kind of in therapy session or, breaking news or whatever it is. So I really appreciate you guys hanging with me today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. If you guys like the program, let me know inside the comment box. If you guys have suggestions for the show, whatever, I'm always open to it. But I think, we got a good thing going right here. Special thanks to our live show sponsors. Live show sponsors, hit the join button. You can become a live show sponsor. I really appreciate it. Probably cost me about almost $50 to run the call-in show every single time. Believe it or not. So when you guys are on hold, I pay for those lines. I could have a bunch more lines open, but just financially, it just doesn't make sense. So that's probably why you get the busy signal often. So I appreciate you guys. If you're a business owner out there and you want to become, call line sponsor, let me know. Hit me up. Easy to get a hold of. And I appreciate you guys. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. I would imagine that there's more news throughout the day. I mean, it hasn't slowed down once, and I think it's going to be this way up until January 16th. So, and I think there's going to be good news. I think there's going to be some news that is tough to deal with, but we'll break it all down and make sense of it all right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for kicking with me. Thank you very much for calling in. And remember, if you don't agree with something, or if you don't agree with something that I'm saying, that's totally okay. Get inside the comment box. I promise you we'd be friends outside of this. 100% super down-to-earth dude, and I clearly understand my place in this world is really just to, be a father to my kids, but I'm above nobody at all. So just know that, all right? So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine Tuesday, January 6th. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Stay blessed. Catch you